Hey there guys, Next Strike here back again for another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the finale to The Legend of Korra Season 2, Episodes 13 and 14, Darkness Falls and Light in the Dark. And a lot of Korra in the past 24 hours, but my goodness, it was all really good. I have enjoyed thoroughly the end of this season. It proved me wrong for sure. I think from beginnings on it was really a big turnaround. Now I know I critiqued the episode after that, but that was kind of a setup episode. Pretty much I was just tired of setup episodes, but pretty much from beginnings on it got back to the Avatar quality. So I'm very happy and very glad that it did that. And my love for Avatar has went up to the all-time high once again. So let's just hope for season 3 they do not do that again where they have a slow start. I want it to be epic all the way through, so we'll see. But still, we're talking about these two episodes, and oh my gosh, man, the feels were so strong in this episode. You guys thought episode 10 was bad. Oh man, that ending was sad. I mean, look, I'm not into the whole love triangle thing. I've said that before. I'm indifferent to it, you know. But man, that ending was just so sad. Like, oh, that was sad. But anyway, so we start off with, you know, Korra fighting Unalaq and the whole dark avatar versus light avatar, which was pretty cool, I have to say. I really liked that fight. I mean, all of this has been really epic. I like how Mako and Bolin are huge, important parts in this finale, as well as Tenzin. I think that's really nice that they didn't just shove them off at the end, so I'm very happy that they did that. You know, it's unfortunate that, what's her face? General Iroh and Lin Beifong, yeah, that's her name. I'm sorry, I was blanking for a moment because there's so much happened. My brain just exploded. But I wish that those two would have done more. And also, where was Greta Leslie's characters? Like, where were they? Were they in this season? I don't think they were. Was that for season 3? If so, then maybe they're doing the Zuko's mother thing in season 3, because I know they had the graphic novels and blah blah blah. But you know, that'd be nice to do it in animated form in some way or fashion. So I don't know if they'll be doing that or not. But I was assuming that she'd be voicing Azula at some point, but I didn't hear a voice for any of the characters. So that's odd. That's really weird how that happened. Unless, of course, they were in this last 2-part episodes or something, and I just didn't see it or hear it, or she did like some different voice than she usually does, then whatever. But you know, the big fight was really cool, and it took a very tragic turn. I did not expect the light spirit to be pulled out of Korra and then be destroyed, also destroying the links to the avatars forever. Well, as they think forever. I personally hope and don't think that they'll be lost forever, because that's a huge part of Avatar to take away. But I think I know why they did that. But that hit me really hard when they did that. I was like, oh no, there goes Aang and Kyoshi and Roku and all these avatars, like characters I really like, are just like dying left and right. Well, you know, spiritually dying. And it just sucks. It's like the avatar she's all on her own now. And yeah, it's bad. Now I think that this whole spiritual journey thing that she's going on, it'll continue, and then she'll regain those connections, because they can't be lost forever. It's just, there's no way. But anyway, so we get past that, and Korra's like out of it, and then he becomes this giant thing for the last episode. And you know, of course, the twins later join Mako and Bolin's side, and Bolin actually ends up liking Eska, which I think that's the girl's name, right? And then at the end, she's like, no, not meant to be. Which I was like, yeah, really wasn't meant to be. But yeah, anyway, so he turns into this big giant, and that was kind of weird. They didn't really kind of explain. I mean, they didn't really have to, I guess, because it's a fantasy thing. It's like, okay, they turned to a giant. But that whole thing, like her, somehow, she's like meditating, and she gets on that spiritual path, and then she turns into that giant form of herself that we saw in Avatar: The Last Airbender. And that was okay, I guess, but that was just so weird. Like, I didn't I wish they would have explained that a little bit. I mean, I'm sure there's not much to it. It's just like, okay, she found herself and now she's able to somehow turn into that, but it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So that part was kind of weak to me because that whole giant fight was not nearly as epic as the fight with Korra and Unalaq. It wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, he was a huge threat, and I was thinking, well, how are they going to take this guy on? Is it going to be her in her normal form? But no, it's her in a giant form, and he doesn't put up nearly as much of a fight. I mean, he does kind of, but yeah, not too much. So that whole thing kind of was the letdown for me, the whole giant battle. I didn't think that was as much of an epic finale. But what I can say about this finale is it fixed a ton of the problems and a ton of the complaints that people were talking about. And that came with the price. But they did. It wasn't rushed like the last finale. The characters weren't left out. Well, okay, some were, like Asami. She was, just shafted once again. So she was left out. But, I mean, most of the characters did that, and it wasn't rushed. And the love triangle seems to be officially dead. But I'll get to that in a minute. So, she takes out the evil spirit, and she destroys him momentarily. I mean, obviously that spirit's going to come back, but I was thinking she would try and seal the spirit, but no. And she killed Unalaq, which is interesting. Not like Aang's approach of not killing. She's like, no, I'm just going to kill him. I guess it couldn't really be avoided, so, whatever. He's the anti-Avatar. That does make me wonder, though. Well, the Dark Avatar. Is he gonna, be reincarnated? Is that what they're going for? Because, if so, that would be interesting. That would have a constant good versus evil battle going, and yeah, it would be interesting, yeah. I'd like to see what they did with that. And also leaving the spirit portals open. Another really interesting idea. She's going away from the tradition. I like how they're saying, we need to learn from the past, but you also need to forge your own destiny. That is very true. Because you can't live in someone else's expectations and someone else's light. You have to become your own person. That's very true of life. And a lot of the things that said in this episode were Avatar quality. It's like adult concepts. It's like you need to take this in consideration in your actual life. That's what I like about Avatar. You can take a lot out of it. It's not just a nice story, cool action. It's like legitimate, philosophy in there, and I like it. So yeah, the whole final fight thing was kind of anticlimactic to me because the fighting just wasn't that cool. I do like how Unalaq never had the 4 elements. At least it didn't seem like, because the evil spirit never absorbed the elements, so that was cool. It was also cool how they had Zhao, that was his name, right? General Zhao, the conqueror of, I forget what he said. He said it like 5 times and I forgot it, but that was really cool how they threw him in. I was hoping there'd be someone else, like, ooh, maybe Azula, because she's so insane, she got lost in there or something. But yeah, it made sense that he was there, so that was cool. And then the feels in that ending. Oh, that was, well, okay, the technical ending was her talking, giving that big speech about how the spirits and the humans are going to be able to intertwine with each other, which I think is cool. I think it's also odd how the koi, I think that was its name, it was like the snake face-eating or face-stealing spirit was never in the season, but might come back later. Because I feel like the spiritual element of Avatar is going to be in Korra, so that's good. I'm really happy that they're doing that. But that ending with Mako and Korra, that just pulled my heart out of my chest. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be clap and be like, yeah, finally, Love Triangle's dead. Well, maybe dead. We don't actually know. But I like how they sort of handled it where Mako's not just like, oh no, I'm just screw Asami. That's not going to work. Even though he never actually told her they were back together. So he did kind of dodge that bullet more or less. But that was sad, saying we can't be together and we love each other and blah blah blah. I'd say that they will be together later on, but I think they're going to do a more traditional sort of romance and actually flesh it out, because in season 1, the reason it was like that is because it was supposed to be a one-off, just 12 episodes, the whole series is over. That's why everything wrapped up so quickly. Whereas this season is going to have repercussions for other seasons to come. So I like that. It's really cool. And I'm hoping that she regains this connection to the avatars, because I gotta see Aang again. Like, I can't lose Aang. Aang is just my favorite character. Him and Zuko are like up there. I hate to lose them, but what are you gonna do? So I hope that she gets that connection. I hope this whole romance thing ends up working out, because Korra is definitely becoming the type that is date worthy now. She is actually becoming a sophisticated human being. She's not a whiny teenager anymore. I don't know why they made her so whiny in the earlier episodes, but she's finally, if she keeps this, because she spiritually grew in the end of season 1, and then season 2 she's back to her normal self. So let's hope that does not happen again. So I'm really hoping that we do not backtrack once again. I don't think they will, but regardless, really, really good end of the season. The final fight, not that great, but all the other fights before it were so cool. It's like, well, okay, one I didn't like too much, as opposed to like all these awesome action scenes. I think I can take it. So overall, I'd say this is probably a better season finale than season 1. Season 1 was probably better overall as far as being a tight-knit, constantly intriguing story. But the second half of Korra definitely picked up the pace, so I'm really happy that they did that. And just tell me below what your thoughts are. There's so much to cover. I'm sure I missed some stuff and whatever, but there's only so much I can remember. So, tell me below what your thoughts are. Like if you like, sub if you like, and I will catch you guys later.